Hello guys, good morning.
This meeting is being recorded.
Welcome to the session today. Hope you guys are doing good. So let us start the session. So if you remember, we were seeing yesterday the basic commands related to the Linux, right? So out of that, we have started with the file operations, that is ls. ls is to list out. sudo is to change the directory. pwd is a command which used to print the current working directory. mkdir is used to create a new directory. rmdir to remove a empty directory. cp is to command copy. mv is to move a file or rename a file, or rm is to remove. touch to create an empty file. nano is to create and keep the data inside the file. Nano is an editor. Okay, once you open a file, the editor opens and you will be able to insert the data inside. Okay, so these were the commands that we have seen. Okay, the next command, that is cat command. So you'll be able to see the cat command to display the contents of the one or more files. Okay, so what is a cat command? Let me try to first activate the shell. Okay, let me select the project properly. Gcloud config set project, the project ID. Okay, see, now we are inside a proper project. So ls is to list out all the files. So let me open this entire screen in a one more page. Okay, now you see here. Okay, let me clear out. Okay, so for example, what is this cat command? Cat command is to display the content of the file. For example, sir, I have here sales.csv. Okay, I wanted to see what is inside the sales.csv. For that one, you can see cat sales.csv. So you will be able to see the data like this. All the data you will be able to see. Okay, so it is having a plenty of the data. Okay, so that is the cat command. So it will be it is having almost 50,000 records. So once after that, you can also stop the operation. So if you wanted to stop the operation, you can also press Control C, I believe. Oh, it's not working. Control X, Control C, Control Z. Now, so you'll be able to see this is a cat command. Control Z is also not working, boys. Control Z also not working. I've tried it out. No, Control Z also not working. Okay, that's fine. Okay, so somewhere you have a kill operation. I will show you what is that kill. You can see kill. Control plus D. Oh, it's closing the entire shell. Entire shell is gone. Let's try to count up. Yeah. Okay, no problem. So for such things, so for example, you do not know like, sir, I have a very large file, but I wanted to see what is the data looks like. So in such cases, you have a few more commands where you can use ls, less, or head, or tail. What is this one? For example, sir, I wanted to see only few content, information of the file. Like, give me 1 minute, guys. So for example, less command. So I can see the file one page at a time. That is less. Head, I can able to see top 10 records or top 20 records if I wanted to see. Tail command, last 10 records, last 20 records if I wanted to see. Something like that I can able to see. Because we have seen that sales.csv is having a huge data. In such cases, I don't wanted to see the entire data. I just wanted to see only few records. For that purpose, I can able to use these commands. So let me show you head command. Head by default 20. Okay, so sales.csv. You see here by default first 10 records will be shown. Sir, I wanted to see first 20 records. Minus n means number. You can give 20 and sales.csv. So you'll be able to see first 20 records. So head means top 20. Sorry, not top 20, first 20 records. Okay. Likewise, you have a tail command also. Tail, let me clear it out. Tail sales.20. So last 20 records, last 10 records. By default, 10 records, guys. If you use head or tail, by default, it will show you 10 records. For the head, top first 10 records. For the tail, last 10 records. Okay. So if I wanted to see some 30 records, minus n is equal to 30 and sales. So now it is showing you 30 records. Last 30. Tail means last 30 records. Okay, so this way you can able to see. So when you see the cat command, right, what it is showing, the entire data it was keep on showing on the screen, which we don't wanted to do that. In such a scenarios, you can actually use head dot tail, and you also have less. That is sales.csv. Okay, so what the less command will do is that, so first it's going to show you the first page, how many numbers it will be able to see here. Region to this entire page it is showing you. When you click on upper arrow, next 20, like that, it will be keep on showing you the data. See, keep on showing you the data. I'm pressing the down arrow, keep on showing you the data, and I don't want it to do that. I can just control Z. Automatically we can come out of it. So this way you can be able to use less command. So you have a less command to see the contents of a file in the form of a pages. Okay, less, when you say less sales.csv, now the page open, you will be able to see. Click on the down arrow. When you click on, keep on clicking on the down arrow, you will be able to go and see the data. Okay, something like that. And keep on clicking on the down arrow. So this is how. Now I wanted to stop the operation, control Z. That's it. And we now know head and we also know tail. So head minus n, 5 records. 5 records will be printed. Tail minus n, 5 records. So we'll be able to see for the head, you'll be able to see you will be having column names as well. But for the tail, you do not have a column names, right? So you'll be able to see only the data. So that is how you'll be able to see. Okay. So this way you can be able to see the data of a, you can see the contents of a file in these 3 ways. So one more is grep command. Usually this grep command is used to search the specific pattern in a file. For example, sir, I have a particular file. Inside that I wanted to find whether the apple is available or not, whether the error is available in the log file or not. Something like that if you wanted to find some kind of a pattern. So if you think that that particular word is available inside that entire file is available or not, you wanted to see, in such cases you can able to see. So for example, this particular file only I will take, sales.csv. Inside that I just wanted to find, okay, let me, what I will do, grep command I will use. I wanted to find this particular word, online or household. Okay, see here you will be able to see household is available almost all the records. Okay, so it is highlighted also, right? So this way you'll be able to see, sir, whether you have a file and you wanted to find such a pattern like household or somewhere Jordan. Sir, I wanted to find a Jordan, whether the Jordan country data is available or not here. So in such scenarios, if you wanted to find it, so you can able to use grep command. See, in these records you will be having the Jordan. So this way you can able to use it, guys. Okay, so you'll be able to see search for the word apple in a file. So grep the word apple and this is a fruit name, and search for a pattern in a multiple files. So you can also find the pattern in a multiple files as well. Sir, I have a log files, so file1.log, file2.log, whether those files are having errors or not, if I wanted to find it, you can able to use grep error. You can mention those file names. Multiple files also you can mention. So that is also there. And if you wanted to find a case sensitive, you can use -i. Okay, case insensitive. Okay, so grep -f. If you wanted to find it important, for example, earlier we found Jordan, right? So for example, you see grep Jordan and sales.csv. It does not have any. See, even though it is having Jordan, but Jordan with a capital J. But whatever I have given is small g. So in such scenarios, if you wanted to mention case insensitive, in such cases you can mention -i. Jordan sales.csv. In such scenarios, you will be able to see. Okay, so you know that that particular word will be there, but you don't want to worry about the cases. In such scenarios, you can mention -i to make it as a case insensitive. I means insensitive. Okay, so that is one thing. So these are the things that we have seen. Cat command to show the contents of the file. The less is the command if you wanted to see the contents of the file one page at a time. Head is to display the first 10 records. By default, 10 records will be shown. First 10 records or first 20 records. Tail is to show the last 10 records or last 20 records. Grep is to find the pattern inside a file. If it is case insensitive, you can also mention -i, you can say. Okay, so these are the things that you can actually use. And few more things are also there, like text processing. Let us try seeing few these things also. For example, let me create this sales.txt. So what I will do, clear the screen, ls. So let me go inside the sample. Okay, cd sample. I wanted to create a one file, nano sales.txt. Inside that I am keeping the date, product, amount. Okay, Control X, Y, enter. So you'll be able to see, you can use cat command to see the data. See here, date, product, amount. So this way you can able to see the data like using the cat command. And now what I wanted to do is that AWK is a command for text processing tool that allows you to extract and manipulate specific fields from the text based on patterns and actions. For example, if you have a textual files and you wanted to manipulate some kind of a fields and you wanted to extract some kind of a or you wanted to do some kind of a calculations, let's just say calculations, in such scenarios you can use actually the AWK command. Okay, AWK command is to do some kind of a calculations or manipulations on top of your text files. Okay, so in such cases you can use the AWK command. So let's just say, for example, we have a file named sales.txt. It is containing the sales data with columns date, product, and amount. To extract the total sales amount, you can use the AWK like this. Okay, I wanted to find the sum. Okay, the sum can be like this, right? For example, the sum will be 100 plus 150 plus 120 plus 180. So that is what I call as a sales, total sales amount. So how do I find it? With help of this text processing command, that is AWK. You can use it. Just copy this thing and you will be able to use it like this. I'm going to show you. Okay, so for example, AWK. Now we know that AWK is the command used to process the text files line by line and perform various text manipulations tasks using the programming language called AWK. You already know that, some people may already know that AWK is one of the programming language, okay, and which will be used to process the text files line by line, and it performs certain kind of a manipulation actions, okay, task you can think of. Here -f, I'm going to do it here. You can see here -f I have used. What is this F stands for? It is a field separator. What is your field separator? In this file, I have a field separator that is comma. Okay, so when you mention -f, some files will be having a comma, some files will be having a tab, some files will be having a hyphen, some files will be having a pipe symbol. So you can mention the field separator. So I have mentioned the field separator comma. Okay. And now what this will do is that this is the main operation that we are trying to do it. Sum is equal to sum plus the third column. So this is our first column, this is our second column, this is our third column. So what it will do is that, so it is going to be adding the third field. So this $+3 symbol comma 3 means we are going to add the third column, whatever that is there. For example, this is 100, right? And next one 100 plus 150. Next one 100 plus 150 plus 120. Something like that. It is going to keep on adding you on the third field. So that is what it will do. Okay. And after that we have an end, and we this is where the operation is ended, and you wanted to see the data in such scenarios. So for example, print the total sales amount, and this is the result will be like this. Okay, so the total sales amount is equal to sum, whatever the sum you have calculated, right? That sum will be printed out here on this particular file. So when you enter it, you will be able to see total sales amount is equal to 550. Okay, so this way the awk command will work. awk is one of the programming languages where you wanted to do some kind of a manipulations on the text files line by line. In such scenarios, you can actually use the awk command, which actually most of the people will be using. Like, it's not very heavily used as a data engineering, but when you go to Linux developers, or what they call Linux admins, I guess. Okay, so they actually use these commands heavily. Okay, this is one of the command where you will be able to do it. Very simple. This is the main operation here. This is the main operation. So you wanted to find the sum on the third field. So this is your third field, and this is the sum. Okay, yeah. And now you got to know that this is how the awk command works. And likewise, we have a one more file, one more command, that is sed command. So we don't actually use all of these commands. What I will do is that I'm going to explain it to you here. So if you guys wanted to try it out, you can try it out. Okay, we don't actually use all of these commands. These are the commands I have given it for those people. This is, I have copied it from the DevOps. So that's the reason these many commands are there. Actually, we don't use all of these commands. Okay, so SCD command is a stream editor. Use it to filter and transform the text data using the regular expressions and the specified commands. So you can actually try it out. So if you have a old text, if you wanted to replace it with the new text in such scenarios, you can actually use the SCD command. Okay, so wherever it is a old text and wherever you wanted to replace it with the new text, you can actually mention it here. So SCD, source text, and the destination text, and in this one, wherever this old text comes, it will be replacing it as a new text. So that's how you can able to do it. SCD command is to transform the text data using the regular expressions. So for example, if I have a old data and I wanted to replace it with, so I have an apple, I wanted to replace it with banana. In such scenarios, you can use SCD command. And this is also one more command cut. If you wanted to remove some sections or some columns from the file, existing file, you can actually use this command. Sort is to sort the number based on the order. Unique is to only print the unique values. Okay, so it removes the duplicate values. So you can try it out, all of these things, very simple things. You can just follow. I have given a sample data also here. Okay, so for example, in these colors, right, you will be able to see red is repeated. So what this unique command will do is that it's going to be removing those, and it's going to be giving you only the distinct records. It removes the duplicate records. And this one, sort. So if you wanted to sort the data based on the ascending order or descending order, you can actually use this one. Okay, so that is something. And cut command also I just shown you. So I have a columns name, age, department. So for example, I wanted to get only the age column or names column. I don't wanted to get all the columns. I just wanted to get only the age column. So you can see here I mentioned field is equal to 1. So only the first column, age names column will only be printed. All other columns will be removed. Okay, so such kind of, if you mention 2, right, age column will be printed. So that's how. So all of these things are, or text processing. So if you have some kind of a text files, if you wanted to process it in such scenarios, you can actually use these commands: awk, sed, cut, sort, unique. Okay, so you have examples also, try it out, and you don't need to worry about all of these things. Okay, so many things I have mentioned it here related to the networking system, and you can just check it out. Maybe if you need it, you can check it out. Who am I to print out who is the user working on that particular shell, and ID to print out the ID of that information, entire user ID, group information, everything will be printed. SU is to command is to go switch between the accounts. If you wanted to switch it out between the account, sudo is the root super user, okay, with all the high privileges. To change, if you ch mode is, sometimes we will be using ch mode to change the file permissions. For example, you have a file, you wanted to change the file permission from the read to write to execute, some kind of a permissions. If you wanted to do it, you can actually use the ch mode, and so you can actually try it out. Okay, so this is it for the Linux, guys. So most of the Linux commands that we have covered yesterday only, and these are the few more things that we have covered today. So this is more than enough. Okay, so three things. One is file and directory operations 10. Here we have file, here we have file. More than enough. Okay, more than enough. And if you wanted to see, these are also simple only. Who am I to know who is the user working on that particular shell, and ID is to display all the group information, user information and group information. Switch between the users, sudo as a super user, ch mode to change the file permissions, chown use user to, okay, make the okay, so change the owner. For example, if you have a file and you wanted to change the owner and a group of a file or a directory, in such cases you can use chown. Okay, so these are the commands, and this is it. Anyone have any questions? Raise your hand if you guys have any. So someone was asking $3. $3 is the main thing, guys. $3 is the field. Okay, we have three fields, right? I was telling you. Okay, so here $3 means, sir, field 1, field 2, field 3. So $3 means field 3, column 3. Okay, otherwise where you are going to calculate the sum? The third column you wanted to go and calculate the sum, right? So that is what you are mentioning here. Okay. Any other questions? Any questions, anyone? Okay, so this is it for today. I think what we are going to do from Monday onwards is that we're going to be starting with our services. Cloud storage, I'm going to start with. I'm going to start with the cloud storage, and we will be seeing what is cloud storage and how to store the data here, and what kind of a data we can able to store here, what amount of data we can able to store here, and how to manage the access control, how to manage the location, how to manage the permissions, and how to provide the what we call how to protect the data. So all of those things we will be able to see in the cloud storage, so which is very important, and it is acting as a data lake for all of the files. So whenever you wanted to store some kind of a object kind of a data, you can able to store it here. Okay, So we are going to start with so far all the basics that we have completed, maybe from the last week onwards, and from tomorrow onwards we are going to start with our full-fledged data engineering concepts. Okay, starting with the data lake, that is cloud storage, and after that one by one we are going to look into the Cloud SQL, BigQuery, all of those things. Okay, yeah. Any questions, anyone? Okay, that's great. I'm going to stop here for the today's session. We will see tomorrow if we have, sorry, maybe on Monday we will connect, guys, at the same time. Thank you all.